Hi guys, welcome back to the Homespun Annie channel. So in this ASMR video, I am going to do another magazine flip through of a country home magazine from July of 1996. So this magazine would now be considered retro, which, as I mentioned in a previous magazine flip through, that just seems so crazy to me that the 90s are now considered retro, because I still think of the 60s and 70s as being retro. But anyway, so let's see. So let's just go ahead and dive in to this country home magazine from July of 1996. Decorating, creating your country style. New vintage baths, all-American porches. If your walls could speak, make sure they're speaking your language. And once again, we have the wallpaper border across the top. And her outfit definitely looks like the 90s. We didn't make it for the floor, we made it for you. So I'm thinking, yep, this is a rug and carpet advertisement. And a Whirlpool advertisement. Country store. Gathered here, a fresh bouquet of summer fabrics. And as I've mentioned before, I absolutely love textiles. And I just love looking at the prints and the colors and the textures. So these are summer fabrics. And here's some more. Kind of have the yellow and blue combination going on. Very pretty. Here's some more. I do love the yellow stripe. And even this, like this and the yellow stripe together, which I know that stripes and florals together are kind of maybe a little bit dated. I don't know that people do that as much, but I think stripes and florals still have kind of a cottagey feel to them. Delight in these handmade treasures, from the rustic to refined. So here, this lamp, using old tin canisters or other salvaged items for lamp bases, and vintage or new fabrics for shades, Illinois craftswoman Becky Detig fashions custom-made lamps. So out of old oil tin or tin canisters. Mystery jars. Were they African American grave markers or a Victorian craft? Evidence supporting both schools of thought, and some 50 memory jugs are on display at the Diggs Gallery, Winston-Salem, North Carolina State University, through August 31st. Artist's Pursuit. Beyond Impressionism, the first major exhibition of the works of Edgar Degas in his later years, will be at the Art Institute of Chicago. Popular toys at the turn of the century, pawned yachts today add a breezy note to rooms. For a new handcrafted boat, contact Prentice Court. And an advertisement for GE appliances. Rooms with a view. Embraced by a new generation of admirers, the All-American porch, front, back, side, and wraparound, stages a comeback. This southern porch, retrieved from mother's memories, was covered with morning glories and offered both a magnificent view of nearby mountains and a spot to drink fresh lemonade. A porch not only keeps you from getting cabin fever, it helps a house reach out into the land and make a connection. And I can honestly say we have a back deck that overlooks the river, and it is one of my absolute favorite spots because it just, I don't know, it just is a lovely spot where you can go outside and you can even just, even if you can't spend a ton of time, at least just going out there and catching a few breaths of fresh air and watering my potted flowers. I also have some bird feeders, and so watching the birds, and then of course looking at the river and listening to the river, it really makes it just a wonderful, wonderful spot. It's definitely one of my favorite quote-unquote rooms in the house. It's also because we live in a very tiny house. Cane-seated rockers and humble spindle-backed chairs would be as enticing an invitation to sit a spell today as they were nearly 100 years ago. And the other thing about our back deck is that it makes it really easy to have people over in the spring and summertime because we have more space that way. Whereas In the wintertime, we still like to have people over. It's just a little bit harder because we can't really go outside. Anyway, hot wires. Furniture shaped from wire suited Victorian tastes for the inventive. Today, these delicate furnishings grace gardens and casual country spaces. Crimped wire adds strength to the delicate Gothic garden chair. $500. The three-tiered planter from Curry and Company above is inspired by wire stands that decorated Victorian hothouses, and it is $200, or was $200. $200 in 1996. And another Chevy advertisement. Oh, look. It was sponsored by the 1996 U.S. Olympic team. And I was just telling my husband this evening, I haven't really been paying attention at all to the Olympics for the last few Olympics, but I started noticing more advertisements that were sponsored by the Olympics, and I realized, oh, there must be the Summer Olympics this year. And that was something, I mean, every Summer Olympics, every Winter Olympics, when I was growing up, it was like a big event. We watched, for the 2 weeks that the Olympics were on, we watched them. And sadly, I just haven't, in the last several years. But the story goes that my mom was in labor with me during the 1984 Summer Olympics that were held in Los Angeles. And I was born in San Francisco. And she was watching the men's beach volleyball while she was in labor with me in the hospital. So, anyway, just a fun little tidbit. Backstory of myself, I guess you could say. Collectibles. The 1996 list: mini piece quilts, tiny buildings, Old West gear, primitive lighting, wooden sleds, small drawers, children's portraits, rustic benches, articulated figures, simple designs. Oh, I see. So these are the collectibles top 10 of 1996. So mini piece quilts. This sunburst pattern quilt, circa 1840, comprises thousands of pieces and innumerable stitches. The awesome intensity of the labor represented by such quilts inspires today's savvy collectors who recognize the value of exquisite workmanship. Oh, tiny buildings. Birds have slim chances of settling into antique homes. Collectors are feathering their own nest with such prizes, snatching up old birdhouses along with architects' models and any other small structures they find. This 1920s Midwestern specimen once offered birds a safe sanctuary. So this is an old birdhouse. Wow, from the 1920s. Very cute. Old West gear. Collectors who have outgrown cowboy kish are reaching beyond the entertainment world's Wild West and looking with new interest at antique spurs, lariats, and other remnants of the real thing, the genuine and even more fascinating Old West. Spurs like these retired from the range now range from $300 to $800. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we have some thunder going on right now. The last few days we've just had, I don't even know, 3 or 4 thunderstorms roll through. And so right now we're having a thunderstorm. So I don't know if you can hear it. I kind of hope you can hear it because it's pretty cool, but it's kind of a slow moving one. We've been hearing the thunder from it for at least an hour. Just slowly moving by. Okay. Primitive lighting. Collectors complement their 17th and 18th century furnishings with vintage lighting devices like this Betty lamp, once fueled by household lard. With its rare stand or tidy, it is a premium piece of early lighting. Wow, that's really cool. I've never even heard of that. Betty lamp. I hope there's not too much of a glare that you guys can see that. That's very cool. And it was fueled by lard. Okay, wooden sleds. Sleek, low slung racers like this sled are categorized as clippers. The other popular type of collectible sleds, called cutters, resemble miniature horse-drawn sleighs. This sled commemorates a reunion of Civil War troops. Wow. Small drawers. Commercial cabinets with tiny drawers are filled with collector interest. Thread cases, for example, get snatched up as end tables and jewelry boxes, says Pennsylvania dealer Skip Shepard. A 6-drawer case with a good finish and a well-known thread maker's name, such as Clark or Merrick, sells for $1,400 to $2,000. Children's portraits. The oil-on-canvas portrait of a boy, circa 1845, attributed to Virginian Samuel T. Taylor, typifies the charm of early children's portraiture, encompassing animals and vintage costuming, as well as the curious nature of childhood. Rustic benches. From gardens, sheds, and workshops, these rustic classics have been lugged into front rooms and dealer showrooms to satisfy the craving of collectors who find folk art qualities in their simple forms and brutally aged patinas. Articulated figures. Model figures with a range of mobility are upwardly mobile in today's market. This California pull toy appears almost eager to go into action. Simple signs. The simpler the message, the stronger the demand for the folk art of primitive signs, such as this one, circa 1910. They convey the earnest hopes of early entrepreneurs rather than the skills of professional painters. When the going gets tough, the tough get comfortable. Mercury Mountaineer. Mercury. I do remember that car brand, but I don't remember anything about that car brand today. Like if they're still making Mercuries. Interesting. The fairest of all. What better reflection of the past than a fine vintage mirror? Old glass may cloud the image, but the value is never more clear. Wow. The Queen Anne mirror above. Oh, there's some more thunder. Sold for $16,100. An arched and scrolled pediment sets off the Chippendale framed mirror below. New Kleenex boxes. These were the designs on the Kleenex boxes that you could get in 1996. Kaleido quilt. Sunflowerful. Bocacious. Unbeweavable. The mirrored center section gives this clock two faces to consider, plus a back painted scene on the bottom glass panel. Got a paint advertisement. Sweet and low. Spirits rise when bodies sink to the shallow depth of a child's chair. The appeal rests in the evidence of fidgety childhood. A simple bowback chair left bears at least 5 layers of old paint. It probably gained a new coat with each child who claimed it, says chair collector Nancy Cohote, who bought it for just $85 in a Missouri antique shop. Other chairs in Nancy's collection below are just right for story time with grandchildren, Sarah and Michael. And a Chio advertisement. Some chairs are a blank canvas. The care and the wear drawn on their surface make them beautiful. Common chair railing dwarfs a small white chair. Its feet are worn bare of paint, evidence of the chair having been dragged about in the wanderings of some long ago youngster. Then over here, the rough-cut green chair testifies to a father's love, if not his craftsmanship. A rubbed raw yellow chair, punished by active heels and soles, takes the measure of the energy of youth. The spirit of long-gone childhood seems to haunt the well-worn woodwork of these antique chairs. I think using the word haunt in reference to old antique children's chairs might not be the best word to use. I don't know, just a thought. The ladder back chair above, so this one, is distinguished by its soft woven seat. Nancy found the rocker, this one, for $95 at a shop in Chicago while traveling last year. It rode home crammed in the back seat between two dogs. And then here we have a Fontana by Broyhill. I think it's this. It's the furniture. Yeah. Oh my, this definitely feels like 90s to me. The striped bed skirts and the florals and just the colors too. And the curtains. Oh wait, I just noticed something. It's kind of funny. There's like a little casserole dish on a bedside table. I don't know who would put a casserole dish on their bedside table for decoration. Interesting. Here's some more. We've got the plaid furniture with the floral furniture. This definitely looks like a very comfy chair, though. And then this looks like a kid's bedroom. And a dining room. Oh boy, more plaid. More plaid sofas. And this is one of those video club, like where you would sign up for it and you'd get mailed. These are obviously VHS tapes. And let's see, what does it say? Just write in the numbers of the 7 movies you want for 1 cent each, plus shipping and handling. In exchange, you agree to buy just 6 more movies in the next 3 years at our regular club prices, currently starting as low as $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Renovated baths. There are few greater remodeling challenges or rewards than to successfully renovate a bathroom. Here are 4 examples. Today's wide selection of vintage look tile, accessories, and fixtures allows you to upgrade while preserving old house character. The sink and floor left are new. The tub is original. I do love a good old clawfoot tub, but it says that the floor is new and it's the tile. I absolutely love this type of tile. I love like the little hexagon black and white tile that people put in bathrooms. Yeah, I just love this style. And I mean, and they did this in the 1990s, and they still do it today if you're wanting your bathroom to look vintage. Oh, this is actually really cute. This sink is very cute, and I do love the colors on the trim and the subway tile. Yeah, the colors are so pretty. Oh look, you probably can't see it in the video, but there's hexagon tiles on the floor. Here. Yeah. I do love this though. Very pretty. Brick-shaped tiles and elaborate faucets such as those below, complement early 20th century architecture. A sun porch turned dressing room left. With a console sink, custom built-in medicine cabinet, reproduction lighting, and a black splash tiled to match the adjoining shower. Console sinks such as the one above, so here and here, offer pedestal style with vanity-like counter space. Oh, look. This one is kind of that same tile, but it's a bigger, but oh, here they're kind of showing it. Oh, it's green, the little, I thought those were black, but they're dark green. Anyway, this is really cool though. I love that. I love when people, if they're going to renovate an old house, where they actually keep the original features. And so instead of trying to fix this, that you would have, you know, a flat shower ceiling, you know, they're keeping it the way the roof actually is. And I just absolutely love that. I say keep as much of the original features and quirkiness as possible. One of the things that drives me crazy when we love watching fixer-upper shows and renovation shows and stuff like that. And one of the things every time that drives me crazy is when they want to take out, if there's a really old house that has a back stairway, like a very narrow, steep stairway as a back way. It's usually from the kitchen to get up into the attic space or the upstairs. They take them out most of the time, and it absolutely drives me insane because I'm just like, that is one of the coolest things. And yes, it was from the time when there were, you had servants in the house, things like that. But it's such a cool feature, and to me it's so, I don't even know the word, but it's one of those things where it makes me so mad when they take them out. So anyway, that's my little ramble. So I say, if you're gonna fix up a really old home, keep all of the quirky features, because that's what just makes it so wonderful. So anyway, yeah, Luke will tell you I get really upset, and I get to the point where I almost want to turn the show off because I just can't believe they're going to take out these really cool staircases. I mean, I get it. There's no point in having two staircases, but that would be like in a modern home. Like, keep the house original. If that was originally how the house was, then keep it that way. Anyway, okay, I'm done. I won't rant about that anymore. So here's another bathroom. I have to say, I do not like that. The brown tiles. Definitely not my thing. Chrysler Town and Country minivan. Raising the frame. How to identify quality craftsmanship and make inexpensive changes during construction. Fifth in a series of articles about building the country house. And then here is the book club. So this is where you would pay, what is it, choose 6 bestsellers for $1. And you would sign up, and then you'd have to buy a certain number of books in a certain amount of time. Wild things. Toppling over walkways and peering through fences, wildflowers are nature's untamed, refusing to stay within borders or march in orderly lines. I absolutely love wildflowers. I've actually started a little series in my shorts videos here on YouTube where every week I go out and I make a bouquet of flowers for my kitchen windowsill with whatever I can find growing here on the property. And we live on 6 acres of wooded property that's on the river. And so I have been going out and doing that. It is so much fun. And I actually had no clue. I mean, I knew we had a lot of pretty things growing here, but when I actually started really paying attention and looking closely and looking in places I've never really looked for flowers before, I have been amazed at all of the wildflowers that I have found here on our property. And I have made, so far I've made 2 bouquets. You can go check those shorts out. And I am just absolutely loving it. The bouquets are so pretty. So, yeah, I absolutely love wildflowers. And it just goes to show you that really you can, just by looking at what's around you, what's growing in your yard, what's growing, even along the road. Luke even, it's kind of sweet. Now that I've been doing that, whenever he's going out on his runs, if he sees any wildflowers along the side of the road, he'll pick them for me and bring them home. And there have been some that I've never seen, that I've never noticed before, and I have no clue what they are, but it's really cool. So, anyway, I'm excited to keep doing that little series. I'm actually going to keep going as long as possible. I think, once we hit winter time and the snow comes, it'll, I don't know how much, there won't be much for me to pick, if at all. But I'm hoping at least to go through the fall and then start back up again in next spring. So anyway, wild neighbors. Even without electronic gizmos, full stereo blares from the landscape. You can call the neighbors, but they won't turn down the noise. Oh, so this is talking about just all of the wild sounds that you hear out. And here, where we live, obviously, we're pretty rural. And, of course, we have a lot of animals and birds that we can hear. One of the ones that I love is hearing the bald eagles. We have a couple bald eagles that live right close to us on the river. And then, of course, we have Canadian geese at times. And there's all sorts of little birds. We've got chickadees and finches and quail, all kinds. We've got, crows and ravens. There's even a golden eagle. What else? I know there's more. Robins. We have robin redbreast. We have a robin that made a nest right above our front door this year. Yeah. And then, of course, we have deer, and then occasionally we'll hear coyotes, even wolves, So, yeah, we've got a lot of lovely quote unquote noise from nature. Victorian parlor twang. Before the suffrage movement, women found freedom in music, but there were some strings attached. Without television, radio, or Victrola, Victorians took seriously the challenge of entertaining themselves. Kentucky musicians banded together outdoors, down here, leaving us this chance to appreciate the Victorian era's enthusiasm for hats as well as for music. Guests in the new Ulm, Minnesota parlor of Mr. and Mrs. Wenzel Eckstein below, right here, might be treated to the strains of their violin and piano duets in 1903. A young fiddler above, right here, saws through the tune of Sweet Lou with his sister while others in their family pose busily for a parlor portrait. A classical guitar, right here, struck the right chords in tunes by Chopin and Liszt. And speaking of Victorian times, in my next video that's coming out on Sunday, I share this very pretty French china that I have that was my great grandmother's from the Victorian era. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, you should check out that video on Sunday. Tunes like the Arkansas Traveler, Listen to the Mockingbird, and the Irish Washerwoman perked up turn-of-the-century parlor gatherings such as this one. The twang of the banjo was just one note along the scale of women's emergence from the shadow of American men. Dodge Intrepid. The bold look of Kohler. A sense of place. On a grassy hilltop in far northern Vermont, two native New Englanders inhabit a once decrepit old house. They've made a home. Re-roofed, reglazed, and furnished with good antiques, this compact structure radiates a crisp, clean, unmistakably Yankee appeal. And I love this old fireplace. But then, of course, look, they put, this isn't wallpaper, this looks like a stenciled border along the tops of the walls. And see, and that is something that I remember my aunt and my mom doing, putting the stencils up. But I do love some of this, like I love the table and the chairs, even this chandelier up here with the candles. Looks very, that kind of country cottage type look a little bit. Okay, so venerable, these are Windsor chairs. This is very cool. And I do think it was probably the 90s when it seemed like roosters and chickens were a big thing in kitchens and stuff. But Oh, these wood floors are beautiful. So this does look really cool. Maryland's homemade muslin curtains allow plenty of southern light into the living room, where an early Queen Anne armchair with its original Spanish brown paint, a tavern table, a continuous arm Windsor chair, and a low faux-grained blanket chest keep company. Look, there's that border. There's that stenciled border. It's interesting what they did to the fireplace. That's another one that I struggle with. When they, which obviously some old fireplaces, you can't use them. But I would rather that they look like a fireplace. And I hate it when they take out the fireplaces altogether. It just kills me every time. But anyways, this isn't too bad, but they did kind of close up the fireplace. I have my things. I have my, you hear the thunder? This is such a crazy storm. It's like it's not even moving. It's just hanging out. Anyway, I do have my little pet peeves. This is a really cool old clock. Bound for Glory. A consummate collector search for the best early commercial art results in a house full of vivid imagery. It's weird because I haven't actually seen any lightning. I mean, you know it's there, but I haven't seen any flashing yet. This is a very cool old bench. An 1880s Deacon's bench. Shares space with a circa 1915 plaster relief bust the owner calls early pop art. Here's another very cool fireplace with a gorgeous hearth. And another fireplace. And another one. This was something I saw on another like fixer-upper show with an old bed frame like this. This little thing here, if you can just kind of push it aside, and it's where the screws are. The screws or whatever for holding the bed together. But they would make a really pretty decorative cover for it. So it would be covered up and it would look pretty, which I think is so cool. So now I notice whenever I'm looking at old bed frames, I start to notice that now. The Years at Apricot Hill. For the woman who dreamed it and the gardener who made it a reality, Apricot Hill is an earthly paradise, the land's existence now in jeopardy. Time here becomes a precious gift. So this is featuring garden. A very pretty garden. Reminiscent of the tropics, fragrance and color flourish under canopy of old trees. Oh, this was in California, Santa Clara Valley. Very pretty. All in good time. Given 20 years and a well-matched interest, a pair of collectors can really flourish. It's cute, a bunch of old birdhouses. Very cute. Oh my goodness, this is their kitchen. Cedar walls in the Freimiller's expanded kitchen have been brushed with thin coat of off-white paint to match other older walls in their ranch-style house. The centered work table, purchased in Mexico, features a hooked line rack for pots and baskets. Lonnie is a serious cook and often sets up big buffets in this space. She likes the way her open shelves save preparation time for company dinners. There's a lot going on in that kitchen. Okay, so they're collectors. So there's certain things they like to collect. This looks like some pottery. These are Native American baskets. Here's their bedroom. Here's some silver jewelry. Lessons from a schoolhouse. This renovation of an abandoned stone schoolhouse is a primer on the value of vision and good working relationships. Debbie and Marty McMurrow subtracted a bell tower and added dormers, but left the structure largely as found. See, they took out the bell tower. I wouldn't have necessarily done that. But that's just me. Oh, they did a hand-painted mural. That's pretty cool. A hand-painted mural in the style of Rufus Porter, a New England muralist, graces the wall of the dining room. A salvaged tramp art mantel, stone fireplace, auction found chandelier, and spruce beams punctuate the living room above. Oh wait, this was pretty cool. It's interesting, this little window up here. Like an interior window. It's part of the kitchen. A seat of Yankee ingenuity. There's the thunder. The birthplace of an American classic, Riverton, Connecticut lures visitors who treasure American history. The Hitchcock Museum. Alcina's Kitchen. At Alcina's Kitchen, Jambalaya, grilled redfish, fresh herbed bread, and seafood gumbo are homemade specialties. You can travel all over the world, Alcina says, but there's no comparison. We have the best seafood. And then here's a recipe for strawberry shortcakes using Bisquick. 2 pint strawberries, 2/3 cup sugar, 2 1/3 cups Bisquick, 1/2 cup milk, 3 tablespoons sugar, 3 tablespoons margarine or butter melted, sweetened whipped cream. Cheese to the rescue. I remember this. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but real. It's like this logo that says real in it. And I remember it when cheese would have that real logo on them. Corral. Country cooking. Herb bread, corn on the cob, and the best fruit salad of the year. This season, take time to savor summer's fleeting flavors. So here are some recipes. Summer berry pie for the 4th of July. And obviously, when this video comes out, it will be the day before the 4th of July. And we are going camping this year for the 4th of July. And Luke and I went and scouted out a spot overlooking Priest Lake. And we are going to go and camp on the 4th of July and watch the fireworks from a couple of the resorts that are on the lake, and we're kind of up above the lake. So we'll see. We've never done that before, so we're hoping it's pretty cool. But we'll be camping with some friends. So the weather's supposed to be gorgeous, so I'm very excited. I think it'll be fun. It'll be Lucy's first time camping, so we will see how that goes. But it should be fun. Judgment Day. Oh, I just saw some lightning. There was the lightning. Very cool. I think the storm's getting closer. Judgment Day in the South, on that holy day of the barbecue contest, is not just fun and games anymore. It's strictly business with a bite. And there's some more recipes. Another little Cool Whip recipe for flag cake for the 4th of July. And here's some plans that you can buy for building your own house. superb herbs. Herbs can do more than pretty up pasta or season a salad. Their flavors and aromas make them the versatile stars of the kitchen. Then a doll advertisement. Some more recipes. Relive summer's golden moments. It's another decorative plate. Some more advertisements. So I think we're getting to the end. Another book club. Hope the rain is starting. It actually kind of sounds like hail a little bit. It's probably going to get a little loud. You're going to hear it. And we've got another cigarette ad. And as I said in the last flip through I did of the country home magazines from the 90s, you definitely don't see these anymore. But, well, that was actually perfect timing. I hope you can hear me over the rain. So I really hope that you enjoyed this ASMR video and kind of flipping through this retro magazine from 1996. And I hope it was relaxing for you. If you did enjoy this video, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also give this video a like and share it with someone else you think would enjoy it. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.